Hello and welcome back to Stranded Deep, welcome back to Pacific Paradise, and welcome back to this island we're making. Last time we started work in the pine forest, but if you're joining halfway through the map making episodes, well, I can tell you that W goes forward, S goes back, A goes left, D goes right, Q goes down, E goes up, and you right click and hold to pan the mouse around, and that's kind of everything you need to know. Except for the amount slider. So we have raise and lower, we have set height, and we have smooth height. And if you happen to be going around the island, smoothing the outside of the island, and then you go, ooh, I'll click here, raise and lower, hit lower, and then forget about the mount slider, which is inherited between all of the tools. You'll left click and punch a hole straight through to Cthulhu's bedroom. So save often because there is no undo in the game. Anyway, last time we were making ourselves a little pine forest, and there is a bit of a problem with the pine forest because there's something of an airplane crashed into it. We've put the airplane up. It was one of the first things we put up because we are kind of building the island around the idea of an airplane. Wow, that was a lot of stuff all at once, but we also put down a little rock and we put down the missing wing because the airplane model has a missing wing. Wow, imagine that. So, yeah, we put a bunch of trees around it. You can climb up it if you happen to be a player character because one of the trees is knocked over. In fact, a couple of the trees are knocked over by the impact. But they are mature trees and they have recovered in the years since, which is nice. We also started putting down these ficus trees. We put a world tree over here, even though we didn't need to. We got some rocks as interest in the bottom of the forest floor, and everything is looking nice. It's looking okay. This direction where the aircraft is facing is going to be facing the rising sun, and we can check that by going here. Hello, airplane. We can go to go to the cog, so terrain and then cog, and then the time. Oh, well, we can put the sun, raise the sun up, and then put the sun down. Okay, so the moon is coming up over there, but the sun comes up over there. All right, so yeah, the sun rises about where we'd expect it to rise. Excellent. You can also check the direction of the waves. The waves will always go in the same direction. Hopefully, everything is mapped out and everything is correct. Ooh, I really hope that is. Also, we can turn the ocean on and off just to see what's going on under our island. In fact, the one thing we can't control is the speed of the camera, because if we move the camera in close to an object, the camera is just going to slow down and speed up. Oh my god. Slow down and speed up. Oh dear. Oh, yeah, at random, which is not fun, especially if you're not expecting it. So sometimes the camera is just going to speed off towards the edge of the world. Sometimes it's not. It's just going to be one of those things we have to deal with. Anyway, we've spent a lot of time working in the forest. We're going to need to spend a lot more time doing it, but what I thought we could do is come over here and really just get some other points of interest put in, some little vignettes. This beach is looking not great. It's kind of, there's a huge edge along here, very straight, weird edge compared to other areas where, I mean, if you back up, the LOD snaps and it looks like how it should look. It's very strange. The game at the moment is, I wouldn't say broken, but it's not like it used to be. So I'm going to hit smooth height. I'm going to leave the amount all the way up. I'm going to have a nice big brush, and then I'm just going to click and hold and drag along that shoreline. Is it going to have much of an effect? Well, it's going to smooth everything off. And unfortunately, we have to ride the smooth height brush. It's just one of those things. All right. So what we're going to do is put some trees around here. A little headland of trees, which is nice. So we're going to raise the land, and then we're going to go and change the amount slider all the way down. Ah, wait a minute. I thought you was not going to do that. I thought you was going to mess that up. Well, actually, the other way we can do it is go to the set height, which is in the middle. Read terrain paint height. Select an area which has got grass on it. That will do. Come back here. The amount is down, but the target value was automatically set by read terrain paint height. So, nice soft brush, and we'll just raise it up. So we can walk on mountains? Maybe. even around here, because there's some strange terrain. I don't want the beach just being completely flat. In some areas, you can just bring it up a little bit. There we go. Nice, very nice. But this is what we're looking at here. So kind of aiming to make a kind of teardrop shape. And we're going to refine it with a bunch of rocks and some trees. So gently just bringing the terrain up equally. I mean, one of the best things you can do is if you run out of ideas for an island, just work on it a little bit, go away and have a sleep. And then when you have a little sleep, ideas come to you in the dark. Yes, they do, trust me. So, that's good. The top's kind of flat, but we don't need to worry about that. We're going to grab the smooth height, make it slightly bigger, change the amount up by a significant amount, and just paint around here with that smooth height brush. Make sure there's no big knobbly bits left over. Okay, cool. Excellent. Objects, if you will, rocks to begin with. I mean, we have a pattern, we have a je ne sais quoi. Why would we not do that? That is a very big rock. I don't want that. You, though, on the other hand. So, R to rotate, T to transform. It's what we got. Put it down into the ground, but not so far down that what happens? What happens is that it will then just clip into the ground. Now, do we want it that side or do we want it sort of this side? Ooh, that is a very good question. I think I do want it this side. There we go. R to rotate. So you need it high enough so things like grass doesn't clip through the rock itself. Otherwise, well, nothing bad happens. It just doesn't look very good. Big rock one. All right. All right, get you out. You're very big, aren't you? T to come back. So you have to just grab the toggles, put it down into the ground. I mean, we don't need too much showing. We can just jam quite a lot of it underground. Slide it back, up, and then rotate slightly. This way. There we go. So I don't want to block anyone's ability to walk along the coast. I want people to be able to walk along the coast like normal, but it's interesting where you can have different heights of terrain, like very sharp differences in heights of terrain, and disguise those drops by putting in rocks and other physical objects, physical items. Okay, cool. So then I'm going to hit up terrain again, raise height. Ooh. Make sure the amount slider is down. Make sure raise is ticked and not lower. Change the size of the brush down. And then what I need to do is raise this up. Just gently click. I'm going to use the hard brush, in fact. And crank that all the way down. Because I kind of want to fill this area in. All up to the level of the rock. But I don't want it spilling out onto the beach. So I don't want the beach affected. So this is a theme that we're going to use quite a bit. As if the dirt is backed up against the rocks over time. Things like wind, things like, well, yeah, basically just wind, I guess. Thermonuclear explosion if you happen to be on Bikini Atoll. There we go. Nice. Doesn't matter if you go too high because we can level that off with the smooth terrain brush, which is exactly what we're going to do. There. So, smooth height. Soft brush, slightly bigger, crank the amount up slightly, and just push it down a little bit. There we go. Nice, very nice. Oh, lovely. Now at this point you might think, oh, I just need to go and get a nice cup of tea. That would be an excellent idea. Pause the video and get a cup of tea, and we will wait. Okay, cool. If you're back with a cup of tea, great. If you're not, well, think about making one. Okay, trees. So we are going to be using ficus. We've used all of the cook pines, the pine trees. We can't put any more of those in. So ficus tree 1 and 2 are the ones you can't chop down. The other ficus trees you can chop down. So if we were to put little sticky, spindly trees in, all of those you can chop down. The bigger ones you cannot. This is kind of a very small area. Kura, no thank you. On Ficus Tree 2. This is kind of a small area. We might need to make this slightly bigger. We can check the size of an area by getting Mr. Door out. So any of the doors. There we go. So that's the size of a person. It's not a very big area, this, where we can always bring the grass back. We just need this bit to begin with. So if you ever need to work out how big an area is, or how a player is going to interact with an area, just whip out a door. Don't let go and just drag it around in an area. That's good. So, Ficus Tree 2, I need you. Click on it. Oh yeah, I forgot. The icon for it is still the old Ficus Tree. It's still the old one. They never changed it. But that's fine. So, R to rotate. I'm going to rotate it upright, and it's going to have somewhere a branch that sticks out. There it is. There it is. T for tango. I'm going to grab these toggles, and I'm going to use the tree. I need the root in the ground, essentially. But I also want the branch to come out over the beach. Ooh, that's a nice idea. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. What we can also do is C to clone. Bring that back. So now we have two trees. R to rotate. Rotate you more upright. And then we can whip that around. I don't really want to move the camera at this point because sometimes it just snaps to a random thing. Where is that big? Ah, there it is. That big branch. So T for tango. Bring that back. Up. And just make yourself a world tree. You can just clip the trees into each other. That's fine. There we go. So we have the branches. They're all sticking out all over the place, which is rather nice. But we have this root. And the root is a slight problem because, well, it's kind of there. You need to bury it in the ground somehow. Terrain. Raise. Yep. Amount all the way down. Size kind of small as well. There you go. Good. You probably need to bury it deeper than you think you need to bury it. Mostly because once you get into the game, sometimes you find that what you see in the map editor in terms of geometry doesn't quite match up to what you see in the live game. It's a little bit strange, but wait, there's more. Oh, there's always more. Do you want to add another section to the world tree? I think I do. So we have to go back on objects. If we can select the world tree, we can C to clone, R to rotate. I'm going to rotate that little upright. Make sure the branch is sticking out. It is. And now we've got a slight problem. Yep, we don't know which bit of the tree that we're clicking on. Oh, is that the right one? Yes, it is. Okay. It doesn't matter so much that it's pushing into the rocks. Every time we touch it, though, it's going to snap onto whatever is nearby. It's just one of those things that happens, but that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. So it doesn't matter if it clips into the rock. It could be that there's a little crevice or something there, and the tree has just grown in such a way that it's just pushed itself against the rock. Trees tend to do that in real life, but that's nice. Okay, cool. So terrain objects, so we're not actually touching anything. Good. Big old ficus tree. Excellent. Now what we need to do is add some more stuff here, but unfortunately, although this is nice and wide, this is not really going to help us. So I'm going to hit set height, read terrain height, grab some of that green, set the amount up slightly. Ooh, the amount slider is a little aggressive. It's very aggressive. All right. Probably because we're not actually pushing up that far. But that's okay. So we're just going to pull it out. Hit the smooth height. Crank it up a little bit. And get rid of some of those sharp edges. We just don't need the sharp edges. Excellent. That's slightly better. There's another little sharp edge there. Let's get rid of you. Nice. Objects. Ooh, the objet d'art. The object of your desire? Rocks. Well, we have more big rocks. I think we're gonna do something similar. We could probably use slightly smaller rocks, if I'm gonna be honest. But let's try this for the time being. R, rotate it over, T, drop it in, pull it out. So find a toggle that we can move. It's gonna be the red one. Gonna be the red one, boss. Right. That's better. I think the other way. Yes. Yes. Okay, fine. Fine. And then anything we do to this isn't going to really help too much. Good. Rocks. Terrain objects. And we'll get rid of the selection of rock. So we have small rocks. Ooh, we do. Yeah, we do. Which means we can just do something with this. Back. There we go. So I think a little bit of broken terrain. Still gonna be up quite high. Small rock. Just wanna keep the idea that there's reason for the rocks to be here. So having broken pieces of rock kind of makes it look like there's something underground, which is what we've done here in the forest. We've added various bits and pieces in the forest in order just to add interest to the ground. Otherwise you just end up with a bunch of smooth ground, but importantly not interfering with the player's path. So if a player wanted to run through here, they could. But wait, there's more. Yes, by adding these rocks we've added sort of a fence along here, so it's easier for the player now to run along sand along the path, unless there's something the player wants here. Now normally we would put fruit trees and various bits and pieces under here, but fruit trees and potatoes do not yield any fruit in game. Once you launch a game, 3 days later all of the fruit in the whole of your game is gone. So unfortunately that is a bug. It is a bug, it's not a good bug, but whatever. Terrain objects. Get rid of that. Right, I'm gonna have to raise things up. Amount slider down because otherwise we'll be sad. I want to raise you up. There. It just means you can't go too high. If you went too high, you wouldn't be in trouble. Let's raise this up. There we go. Nice. Okay, cool. Camera. There we go. And smooth. Bigger brush means it equalizes to a larger area. So a small brush is okay if you've got a little peak and you want to get rid of it. I think I might bring that up slightly higher. Drop that down. Make sure, well, in fact, drop it all the way down. Make sure raise is selected. So, reduce the size of the brush. And just push that up. Yeah. Good. And then smooth it once more using the same size brush. That's better. Good. Good. And then lower. That is all the way down. Hard brush. Size down. Ooh. Yep. And just push down until some of that grass texture gets removed. Okay. And then smooth it with a soft brush. Slightly higher amount. Okay. Will this have any effect on anybody running through here? Probably not. It's mostly just for us. Right, good, excellent. So we're going to need to put in some trees. No, we can just put in some plants and things. So big plants, small plants, plants the size of your head. Big structural plants are great for the middle of forest and things. Banana plant. Banana plant is hilariously amazing. You can put a banana plant in, you can't run on it. It's one of those plants that you try and run on and it's going to mess your day up, but you can just have it poking out into a pathway. I really do like the banana plant. Make sure it's down in the ground, which it is not. It's floating significantly. So, let's move this up. To rotate. just so the leaves aren't obviously clipped into a rock. Because if it's obviously clipped into a rock, it just looks like it's been placed. And obviously, if it's floating, then it's going to look even worse. So, Saruman. Yep, throw that in there. So we've added a bunch of rocks and things, but we don't really want the rocks showing. So we can have plants around it, and plants will grow next to rocks. It's where the seeds land, and it's where they're most protected when they're young. So that's nice. But what is going to bring people here? Why would anyone come here? Oh, well, if we're not going to put down fruit, I mean, we should put down fruit. It's definitely going to be the yucca. You're going to want a yucca tree. So we can put that here. It's a nice tall plant, but what happens is if we put it here, its height is kind of disguised by the fact that we've got a giant tree there anyway. So that's fine. Go down. Okay, that's in the ground. Rotate it? Yeah, we can rotate it. There we go. We can even rotate it over, because you can do that. So just make sure all of the elements are in the ground. They're not. Ooh. Okay. You can probably put it down a lot further than it is there. The player will hit it, and then items will spawn from about the midpoint in terms of fibrous leaves. Okay, cool. Koala trees. I mean, we can put fruit trees and things here if we wanted to. If we're going to put a lot of plant life here, we should probably put something else, some other rock or just something here. So I'm going to do that. We have small rocks. We have shoreline rocks. These ones are okay. You can just bring them out and just pop them down, which is kind of nice. Which you can do. They're slightly darker than these rocks. The ones that you can pull out individually, the big rock and the small rock. But it does mean that you have a large amount of detail all of a sudden. I'm not going to bring those out. I think it's going to be too much. Small rock, kind of a square one. Yep. I think what we're going to do is put that over here. Rotate it. Yep, there you go. And then T. I think what we're also going to do is grab another tree. And I think we can grab another ficus. So, not that one. We're going to need ficus 2. Yeah. So another big tree. But we've put a rock down just to demark the area where it was going to go anyway. So R to rotate. We've got a lot of foliage here. So what we can do is take that one big branch, which is here, and pop that over the sand. I do like having that one big branch over the sand. T to transform, bring it down. Make sure it's not clipped into the nana. Okay. Right. Now to rotate. Ah, there we go. Now, is that the branch that we were looking for? I think it is. I'm actually not entirely sure it is. It is? Yes, it is. That is the branch that we're looking for. All right. So we've not the tree quite far over. That's cool. Trees in coastal environments do tend to lean at alarming angles. It is an effect of the wind. So as they grow, the wind will blow them around. But that's kind of an interesting thing. So we've added a bunch of rocks. We've added some trees. We've actually added 4 trees here, but there's only 2 trunks. So 3 in the world tree and 1 here, which is interesting. We're also gonna, I mean, could we get away? Ooh, could we get away with a bush? Not entirely sure. Okay, so we've got the cocoa bush. That's not the same thing. Oh, it is. Oh, they've renamed it. Oh. Hey. So the The bush is actually a very interesting and structural element. I don't think it's going to be useful for us here. I think I'm going to not put that in there. But in other places is super, super useful. No. I mean, that would work, but we'd need to bring out the land some more. If we were to do the same thing here. What? Sometimes you get to a pivot point and it just won't pivot anymore around the mouse, and you need to reposition the mouse pointer. So we could do that. It's fine. It does add... Oh, it does add something, though. You can put it further into the ground if you just don't want that much mass. Yeah, that's okay. Let's see. These things tend to be bigger once you... yeah, I'm going to get rid of that. So the cocoa bush tends to be bigger once you put it onto an island. So if you're trying to position things with very fine tolerances, that thing might end up a lot bigger than you expected it to be. So what we're going to do is just add some more plant material around here, just to add little happy little plants. There you go. Nana plant, aloe plant. Yeah, the aloe. It's a very important plant. We have a bit of a problem. I'm going to let go of that. Because there's so many objects around here, the camera is going to misbehave. So train on objects. I'm going to put the aloe here. It's a resource that you can only pick once, but the plant body will remain, so that's fine. Okay, Sermon, we've already put that in. What else do we have? Oh, the pine saplings are very good for the forest floor. We can bulk up the forest floor with that. Quawa, the Wav Love plant. Yeah, that thing really doesn't have a purpose at the moment. We can drop it in. In fact, we can drop it in where the player is going to run. And then we have the palm sapling. Yeah, is that palm saplings or palm saplings? Little tiny saplings. Another resource plant. We should probably put all the resources in at the same time, but whatever. You just drop those in and give them a little rotate. Just a nice little thing if people need fibrous leaves. So, Theremin, yeah, the big one. That is a big one. It's a very big one. 2 and 3. There is another one. There it is, right at the top. So that's way too big. Smaller ones are nicer. So we can drop that down. Not using that toggle. There you go. Rotate it. So we're just... Everything that we've put in, we're just giving it a little decorate. And then kind of disguising the fact that there are rocks there by putting plants in. Because that's how you would see things in real life. Plants would just go in and hide things. I'm not feeling these two plants together though, so I'm going to get rid of that one. Drop you in instead. Oh no, I know what we can do. Oh no. Okay, you can go in there. So, pull you down. Make sure the leaves are out over the rock itself. I don't even think we need to rotate that. That looks good. It does. So we're not stopping the player doing anything, but what we're doing is we're just adding a little thing that they can just run straight through the middle of. So you can run through here, or you can go around the outside like the Buffalo Girls. Oh, yeah, so we're leaving the middle clear. That's what we're doing. PP. Everyone needs PP. So I'm going to put the PP here. Okay. So we don't need pines. We can put some plants down like potato and various things. And there's a lot of resources already in this area. But the potato plant, chances are no one's going to be able to use it. Because it's kind of broken. Do I want to world tree this? Maybe there's something missing here. Just here. maybe not. I know what we can probably do. Put in a big old chunk of rock. There we go. Why would we do that? Because it breaks up the line of sight. It doesn't affect anything that we've already done, but it does break up that old line of sight. Now, is this? Yeah. There we go. Much better. Good. So, we can grab a nana. Give me the nana. Actually have it growing from the rock. Or we can have it over here. I think we'll have it... See, if we have a nana and then people are throwing physics objects around by hitting the yucca, it might just be that that doesn't work. I think it's probably fine the way it is. We can always come back and check this later on. Let's see, what have we got selected here? Now selecting the tree is going to be very difficult. Ooh. In fact, it's going to be easier just to grab another tree out because you've got so many objects now in this area and there's no object list that we can click through. Grabbing an object is very difficult. So what I'm going to do is go back to Ficus Tree 2. Drop that. Drop that here. Rotate it, and hopefully it doesn't snap to anything else. It did. Okay. Move the rock away. Move the rock away. There we go. If you just transform and move it in a straight line, it's a lot easier to get it back to where it was. But yeah, item lists are something the game just doesn't have. Which is a shame. Should do. Okay. Trees aren't really touching. No, they're not. Okay, so we can transform. In fact, transform will bring this one back. It's touching that tree, and then, whoops. And then this one can come back and just lay on top of it, just to disguise the fact that it's there. Okay, good. Well, here's a thing that we've made. It is a little tree tunnel, so you can run straight through the middle if you hit up objects, and then go to item, not item, structures. Mr. Door. Grab the door. The door's like, ooh, hello, I'm just walking. I'm walking here. But yeah, it is a nice big area for the player to run through and around and probably just past from most of the time. Which is fine. There are some resources. We have fibrous leaves, we have PP, we have aloe. So those things are going to be medical and they're also going to be building. And we can always come back and add things like palm trees later on. But it's a nice start. It's a nice little just a little vignette. And we can build lots of little vignettes all over the place. And then we can add structural things like palm trees and other shoreline rocks later on. Good. Well, it looks like there's a lot more wooded area on the island, which is great. It also does things like blocks line of sight to things in the distance. And yes, it'll look different once you're in the game, so that's not a problem. Good. Well, I'm going to leave it there for the time being. So if you like this, definitely leave a little like, leave a subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. If you do subscribe, remember to dingle the bingle if you want notifications. Don't click the bell if you don't want notifications. And I tell you what, I'll catch you next time.